coffee on a budget. Today I want to talk to you about my love of coffee and how I have made coffee on a budget an important focus for me to be able to literally save thousands of dollars and make a positive impact in my budget. Hey, I'm Serena.Ryan. I run Dollarized e-commerce agency. I'm a mum of two. My son said, "Hey mum, don't you like spending time with us?" He stopped me in my tracks to realise I'd had it all around the wrong way. Coffee is one of those things I could easily spend a lot of money on, but I am always looking for ways to be creative with what I have. My budget is important to me, and coffee is too. I know I look at this unconventionally. I'm not a financial advisor or a barista for that matter. I love good coffee. In fact, I've been drinking coffee since the age of 15, and I used to go after school to a coffee bar. I love the smell of coffee and trying the different blends and being able to go out and socialize. All around an incredible drink. Good quality coffee is a not negotiable in my life. When I started making more budget conscious decisions about my budget, coffee was one of the first things I looked at. And let's be clear, it's not the only thing I've looked at, and I have got a number of videos that give other tips on how I've looked at my budget to make the most of what I have. And I encourage you to check out the playlists at the Serena.Ryan YouTube channel, and also check out the links above me now as well. It will take you into those playlists to help you see how to make the most of your budgets in business and life. In this video, I share 6 ways of how I get good quality coffee in my life without breaking my budget. Tip 1, 7-Eleven coffee. Yes, seriously, I go to a service station and get $1 coffee. You can't beat it for the quality and the cost. $1 coffee that is espresso made, $1 versus $4.50. Am I going to be particular about how fresh the beans are? No. Am I super impressed every time I go there? Yes, I am. The consistency is there. And for $1, it sits nicely in my budget too. I have a coffee machine at home. I have a espresso machine that I got on sale, and I am able to get beans and grind them and use it at home. When I go out, I have a reusable coffee cup and I get a discount of 50 cents off my coffee just because I take my own cup. I think that's pretty awesome, and it makes coffee just that little bit cheaper, which means it's more money back in my budget. If I'm watching how much I'm spending on coffee and I really want to get an espresso coffee from a cafe, I get takeaway instead of sitting in. Takeaway is often up to $1 or $1.50 cheaper, and that means that money's back in my pocket. And a side benefit, I will drink it and walk and get some exercise in as well. Getting takeaway and using my reusable cup can make it even cheaper. It's a double benefit. Cheaper because it's takeaway, and then cheaper again because I'm using my reusable cup. A great benefit to be able to get those discounts and still get my high quality espresso coffee. Another thing that's business related is that I like to have an occasional business meeting in a coffee shop, and that means that becomes a tax deduction. Beneficial for me, and always check it and run it by your accountant. I do recommend, depending on where you live in the world. But I know here in Australia, if I'm having a business meeting at a coffee shop, it's quite reasonable for me to claim that coffee as a tax deduction. Do I make a habit of doing it all the time? No, because at the end of the day, it's still spending money. And I do a lot of my meetings via Zoom, which is more than reasonable, and I make that coffee using my coffee machine at home. Having a coffee machine at home, whilst it is an initial investment to have, it is in the long run making things much cheaper. I make a point of buying my coffee beans, and I have a grinder as well to grind it at home because I still want to have that same feeling of quality coffee and experience that I would have going to a cafe. Being able to do that consistently and not having it as well as going to a coffee shop is fundamentally a difference to my budget. And when I'm looking at having coffee on a budget, it's important that I'm not going to cafes as well as making my coffee at home. It's either or, and from a health perspective myself, I limit myself to 2 coffees a day. So I have to be careful for my budget and my health and limit myself to 2 coffees a day and get a healthy balance between having coffees in a coffee shop and at home, and the occasional drive-through of the service station and getting that dollar coffee as well. When I bring all those things together, it means that coffee on a budget for me is a cost-effective thing to do for my business and life budgets. What's your favorite way to save money, and what other tips would you add? Pop them in the comments. I'd love to hear what you do to make the most of what you have. And if you like this video, amazing. Please give it a like. Let me know. This is wonderful feedback so I can continue to produce more videos weekly on how to make the most of your budgets in business and life.